only 11 though. I don't know.
I don't think 11's a
No, it's
good,
too
yeah,
young, eh?
too young.
Okay.
But hopefully, hopefully as we do this, I'm not here, and I think I've made that quite apparent that I'm not here for a one-shot deal. I'm not here for just, just to get in and get out. I think Dash is just as important as when the microprocessor was invented.
Yep.
When the microprocessor was invented, it changes things. Dash is actually the first, to me, cryptocurrency that is no longer searching for a function. The function is there, and Dash is being tailored to take care of that function.
Okay, well, I was recording all that. So let's start now. So in the original, like in the intro, I'm going to do like in front of the camera. And then, so I'm just going to start with welcome to the show, Scott. Because I'm going to already introduce you in the intro, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so welcome to the show, Scott.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you taking the time to have me on your show.
You're welcome. I hope you don't mind me calling you the Dash Nation Bulldog, because that's how I consider you. Somebody who has the determination is not going to stop until he sees Dash as the #1 currency in the world.
Well, you know what? You called me the Dash Bulldog, and I put a big smile on my face because my big brother has actually always called me the Bulldog. I was a wrestler. Not only that, as a Marine, as a business owner, once something's put in front of me, I don't let go. It's just my way. So I put my head down, keep working, and know that, and I trust myself that when it comes to work, I can survive compared to anybody. So I appreciate the compliment.
You're welcome. Welcome to Cash Alternative TV. I think that there might be some people out there who don't know you yet. For most of people, you don't need an introduction, but for the sake of the ones who might not know you, can you give us a quick bio of yourself?
Certainly. I'm Scott Farnsworth, also known as the Dash Racer. I am a proposal owner of the Dash Aerosports team. We compete in low-level closed course pylon racing. I'm one of 3 pilots on the planet that is qualified both in propellers and jets to compete all around the world, internationally, without borders, to compete at low levels in closed course, multi-aircraft pylon racing. Everything from pulling 10 Gs in a what people would normally hear as a Red Bull style aircraft. And we also, my favorite, of course, is the 500 miles per hour at 50 feet in a pack of 12 or 11 or 12 airplanes around the course out at the Reno National Air Races.
Okay, so you have a proposal right now. Actually, you've already had a proposal that's, in my view, has been pretty successful, but you've been getting some flack on the Dash Central website and on the Dash forums from people that don't think, well, they basically think you're just a playboy who like slaps some Dash logos on the plane and is just traveling around, flying around on Dash's dime. And there's nothing else that's happening in this proposal. So right now, I'm going to give you a chance to go through everything that your proposal has accomplished from ground zero up until now. So take it away.
Okay, not a problem at all. So just to clarify, the only flack that we've gotten on our proposal is from one person, and he posts from, or she posts from, the same screen name on both. That's been confirmed. So that's not a problem. We're not really worried about that. As another masternode said, and I loved it, he's loud or she's loud, but very lonely. If you've actually paid attention to our proposal and what we do, which is really hard to do, or hard not to do, because we believe in communication full speed. So we've kept updated about our accomplishments. We've reached every single milestone of our first proposal. Not only did we exceed our proposal, but as the value of Dash went up, we kept adding to that. We are actually, the Dash Aerosports is also now a meetup group, a bus tour from coast to coast. We have a 40-foot RV with a 24-foot trailer. Inside that 24-foot trailer, we have a virtual reality experience that you get to come and fly with me. At the local areas, we all have a professional media team that attracts college kids through a work survey or program. For instance, in the Reno, Nevada area, we had over 200 applicants to come out for the 5 spots to be on the Dash Aerosports team and take care of our onboard virtual reality glasses and sit people down and put the virtual reality on their heads. So We have community outreach. I've been on a documentary already where we've taken a former South African fighter pilot for a flight. It was the first time that he had been in a fighter plane since his accident from ejecting from combat with the Cubans 30 years ago. It was actually one of the greatest days of my life. So that holds true. So the operation, taking somebody for a flight like that, was great for me personally, but for the Dash Nation, it provides the aspect of exposure, of course, but as I always say, it gives an avenue to show that Dash is for the good, not just for, greedy, get your profits and keep going up higher. We can do stuff for other people. I've also been invited to JetBlue's maintenance facility, where I gave a presentation to young children that were bussed in to talk about what I like to talk about, which is everything that I've accomplished in my life. I've never sat out and said, how can I make more money? I've sat there and said, what do I want to do? Not only what do I want to do, who do I want to be? I've always started out with that, and that has created a passion in my life. Here's the crazy part. If you just focus on your passion, your fortune will always follow. It doesn't matter what it is. I use the example with the kids about that show on, I think it's A&E, where a guy builds tree houses. At one time, he came to his parents and said, Mom, Dad, I'm going to build tree houses for a living. Could you imagine if your child came to you and said, I'm going to build tree houses for a living? He didn't care what anybody said. He just accomplished his goals. He became passionate about being the best daggone tree builder out there. Now he flies around the world. He builds 3,000 square foot tree houses, millions of dollars. I bet you he doesn't really even care about what's in his bank account, because what's he doing? He's chasing his passion every day. Every single day he gets to calculate what this tree is doing, how much load structure. That's what he loves to do. Guess what? I love to go out, fly jets and airplanes as fast as I can. What else do I like to do? I like to develop brands and also help businesses, which I'm sorry, Dash is a pseudo business through the Dow, that I need to make sure that I protect their brand, I develop their brand, and I do everything I possibly can every single day to try and have market penetration for Dash. And that's what we've done day in and day out. Not only have I done that, but my team's done that. And as I was just sharing with you, I've brought on a full-time employee as my number 2, because I was so impressed by watching a 25-year-old young man and how his mind works and how he is aggressive. We've had the conversation. The first thing I asked was, how much do you want to make? Just like the Dash Dow wants to know how much I make, right? So how much do you want to make? And he told me, well, his mistake was he came to me and said, well, how many hours is this? How many is that? I said, you know what? You don't change the world about worrying about hours at all. What do you want to make to change the world? Because that's what we're doing. We don't think that we're out there just flying an airplane. What we're doing is we're taking something shiny and sparkly out there. And trust me, the presence of a fighter jet done up like a NASCAR with some crazy cowboy and a cowboy hat, should have wore the cowboy hat tonight, it attracts people. Not only does it attract people from the sense of that's impressive, but it attracts people in the marketing side of business that says, look at these guys. They really know what they're doing. That's what we've been told is, hey, how do we get associated with you? From that conversation turns into, well, you become associated with us by utilizing Dash. We have a hard and fast rule. We need to figure out how to get you implemented with Dash. I don't care if it's, like I've said before, Joe the hot dog guy. If he has a wallet on his phone and he will sell you a hot dog for Dash, we can work something out. Of course, I'm trying to focus on the multinationals, the big names. And I won't start dropping names, but, I have sent emails, people that need to know about what we're doing. And I don't send out emails. These people are too busy. The core team developing a wonderful product. As I always say, I just want to say this right now. I'm out there in a Dash flight suit with a Dash jet representing Dash, but I want you to understand that I fully understand my place in this world and at Dash and in the Dow. And as a masternode, is that I represent what the developers produce. I cannot show anybody this wonderful thing that we're doing without our developers. So I want to say thank you very much for your hard work. I want to tell the core team that they do a phenomenal job. I spent time with the head of the core team, Ryan Taylor, very early on into my proposal to reach out, touch bases, let them know that we're available at all times in contact. We sat on the phone and talked, very short conversation, but we sat on the phone and talked, and listening to that gentleman and talk about protection of individuals, not overhyping something, not pumping anything, being careful of how we use our words in promoting the product. Right off the bat, I knew I was in the right place. After that, I went to work. And you've seen what we do when we go to work. We just keep going and keep going. And every day, it's my joy to drop something in the Dash community's lap and say, this is what we've done. We've never asked for anything else, because guess what? You trusted us with a proposal for 6 months without an escrow. I will never betray that trust. I will never take that lightly. I'm humbled by the trust that the community has shown us, but I'm also responsible to keep that trust. That's my driving force.
Okay, yeah, so you definitely have the passion that goes with it, and that's right up my alley, because you're exactly, I want to clone you and create a whole Dash Nation of you. This is exactly how I picture us to go forward, you know?
Well,
like
so
you and I see alike that way.
That's right. But see, you're going to come down to the Sun and Fun Air Show down here in Lakeland, Florida. We've also invited August and the entire Bit to Byte team down here to host them. I mean, it's an air show with, I got to get the numbers. I know it's over 250,000, but we're going to have an entire area, which we did last year, and there's pictures of that. We took care of that for my radar. We're going to have the same area with the same footprint, which is a huge pavilion. We can bring in Dash people. We can bring yourself in. You can report back on what we're doing. At the Reno National Air Races, we had 16 to 18 masternodes and their families there. It was great. It was awesome.
Cool.
We made sure they were taken care of. We made sure that they were taken care of, but I've got to tell you, it was amazing to have them, because they knew I'm out in front of the crowd. I'm out engaging merchants. I'm out doing my thing. I'm out being the crazy cowboy air racer. But an hour before I race, I go into the RV, I relax, get some air conditioning, get into the zone. And I've never, they understood what I was trying to do. I had a great time having them out there. We actually had a DJ'd party on Saturday night. We hosted, so we've got the Dash bus tour with our RV that follows the jet from coast to coast and the team. We've got the virtual reality experience. We've got the meetup aspect. We've got the jet all flying around. And now we're escrowed. It's no longer our money. I don't, that's the thing, is it's actually kind of a relief. I haven't even looked at what Dash is doing. Hopefully it's doing great at this point. To talk about that, as we've talked about, I've paid all my team members in Dash with the exception of my former intern that is now with us, and he's no longer an intern, he's a paid position. But I pay him 50-50 US dollars in Dash, because he's a young guy, and right now he can't put gas in his car with a Dash. So he has to have some young guy. We call him Hollywood, good looking blonde kid. You'll meet him down in Sun and Fun at the air show. But when you're talking about me, you don't make it on my team without having this veracity, this relentless, this respectful, relentless approach to everything. You don't want to be the guy that's just, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Because now you're just a telemarketer or something like that. You need to know something that I learned, hopefully, and I'm good at, is tact. You need to know how to engage people, with that right amount, just that right sizzle. You don't want to burn it, but you also don't want it to just come off the plate, rare. So that's how we handle things. I'm really excited for what we can do, especially now that I'm not having to get on the phone. I was doing an interview with the Dash Force News, or at least I was on their Three Amigos podcast. I'm sitting there trying to talk to them. I've got the COO of the Reno National Air Races waiting for a phone call so that we can finalize some ideas. I'm talking to them. The phone rings. I see it's him. I got to cut off. Quite honestly, I'm getting so busy between aircraft, jet maintenance, the FAA needs this paperwork, this air show needs all these insurance criteria. There's a whole aspect to our team that nobody would ever know or see. That's insurance, maintenance, housing facilities for the aircraft, logistics of equipment, crew chief. There's a whole aspect that's not seen there. And then on top of that, I also have to try, because it's not in the proposal, but it's what we do. This is why our previous sponsors have glowingly endorsed us. I mean, last time I posted a video of the CEO of a $1 billion company saying, "Hey, Scott's the best $1 billion company. Scott's the best money we've ever spent." And I think I've proven to Dash over a unsecured, unescrowed 6-month contract that's what we do. We're not here to just participate. We're here to dominate and set a bar that other proposal owners sit there and go, okay, that's what it takes to be a Dash representative. That's what I'm going to do. We get Dash. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't want to stop you in mid-thought. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we've been approached, several times a week to review proposals and so forth like that. So I see from the other side, like I said, especially as a master node, it took a lot of trust from the Dash community. Luckily, I was able to convey what we do and how we do it. And believe it or not, I mean, it was kind of a landslide. And as we pursued what we do and actually could get into the meat and potatoes, again, we didn't wait till we got funded. I started announcing, we have this, we have that. And at that point, it appears that we might be pumping the vote or something like that. Nope. By day 3 of our proposal, we doubled the planetary Dash ATM count on day 3 of our proposal. Right out of the gate. We're here to deliver. We're here to go. That's what we do. So when you say something like that, oh, these guys just showed up and doubled the ATM count for Dash. Not only that, they're branding the ATMs in Dash colors so they're not orange with some slow Bitcoin look to them. That's what we do, and we're not going to finish. This is what I want to do. I don't golf. I don't golf. I don't fish. I develop brands, and I use my connections to gain access for business development. I'm not shy about that. I'm completely transparent. If you talk to anybody, 10X, when we flew out to Singapore, I got on a plane for 16 hours for a handshake, because that's part of business with me as a personal thing. When people say it's just business, it's not personal, the heck it's not. It is definitely personal. I don't see this as not personal. This is my net wealth as well as every other master node owner, as well as everybody that has a Dash on their wallet. It's my job to try and create more wealth for myself, more wealth for you, more wealth for them, more wealth for their children.
But Dash Nation people that are out there, it's a unique situation for us to be in, because most businesses, you might think, okay, well, people don't really need this product. Maybe it'd be nice to sell it, but not everybody needs this product. But with Dash, there's literally nobody in this world, and I touched on it in a recent interview. There's literally nobody in this world that Dash will not help in some form or fashion. And I think that's why we get this confidence, because when we talk to people, we know that Dash is awesome, and we want everybody to share in that.
Yeah, well, to cover that, I think at one time somebody said there was no need for a book to come from the online store called Amazon. So there's Barnes and Noble, which, I mean, not to, talk down, but there was Barnes and Noble that at one time they were so huge that they had this huge spread just talking down about Amazon.
I remember.
Now you see what happened. Technology changes.
Yep.
It's just the way it goes. Like I said, I think on our last interview, was at one time street lamps were lit by whale oil. There's not much whale oil factories around anymore. Electricity came, started powering things change. There's a seismic shift. At the Dash Aerosports team, we believe that Dash is the seismic shift. We are the Amazon and the traditional banking system and payment system. Really key here, payment system is the Barnes and Noble. It's a better, seamless. It's already coming. You can see it already. You go on to you go onto the discoverdash.com with the different businesses. I know we're loading businesses on there, and those are like I said in the last interview, those are not just businesses that say, yeah, we take Dash. No, those are businesses that we have taken the time to establish what I call a positive lead, not an empty lead. We've talked to the owners or the managers or somebody that handles when you call up and say, I would like to buy this pair of sunglasses. I would like to buy this aviation tug. I'd like you to work on this car for me. They need to have some kind of wallet, and we give them different options. I won't say names right now, but we give them different options. We show them how to accept that. We also show them how to go all the way from Dash to where they put it on, a BitPay card, or they have an exchange account with the KYC. I mean, this is a full-time gig here. We're not just playing around. We're full-time.
Okay, so if you're
from
in an
start to finish.
Okay, so if you're in an air show environment, I know you're talking to the general public, you're putting a face to Dash, but when you're talking about the other businesses that would happen to be at an air show such as this, are you looking at CEOs? Are you looking at general people that are part of the company, or like what level of people attend these air shows that you can promote Dash to?
I'll give you an example. I'll give you a couple examples. So we'll start at My Go Flight. It's iPhone cradles, it's iPad, Snap-on stuff for aviation, it's backpacks, it's luggage. My Go Flight. It's a overall apparel store. They have hats, all that stuff. When we had that conversation, what happened there, and Jim Bitt was with us, who's a masternode. He's been with us the whole time. He's been just phenomenal support for us. And on top of that, he's been there to watch us do what we do. And we like that he reports back and tells everybody what's going on. So to give you a scenario here, I'm out in front of the plane. I'm going to fly in the morning. We do formation flights, photos, all that stuff. So I have to be up before sunrise because the brief is 15 minutes before sunrise. And then we're in the jets at sunrise. And then we go out and do formation. And you can see some of the pictures that, on the side of our bus, there's a huge 20-foot jet with Dash all over it from those Oshkosh pictures. That is literally sunrise. I come back, we debrief the flight for safety and protocol. And then by that time, my team's already put the plane back into presentation mode where we have stuff set up. They're out there in the Dash shirts, all looking the same, all approachable. And I show up, I start engaging the crowd. And I mean, sometimes we take breaks for lunch. The Rome, Georgia air show, we were so busy that we actually sent Zeke, like I said, my former intern, he was also the gopher to go get lunch because we were just absolutely full engaged the whole time. And it's amazing who comes out of the woodwork that you would never imagine. For instance, the Rome, Georgia air show, the number 2 guy at the air show, he has an entire mining farm. I would have never even imagined. He's like, oh, Dash, yeah, I've got this, this, and this. And I'm like, well, you need to start mining Dash. Trust me, because I'm on the team, and you see what we have. We show up. We're the biggest footprint on the field. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We've shown the pictures. If anybody's ever been to an air show, they see an airplane out there. We show up. We look like a NASCAR setup with a jet airplane out there. It draws attention.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I cut myself off and I segued over to that. So on the merchant side, I had already sent my my other team member, Keith, that he went off and he's with the merchants and he's talking to them and he knows how to approach them. He's a small business owner as well. And he knows how to approach them and talk to them. And he strikes out 30 times and one says, yeah, why don't you bring them over? Let's talk. That way I'm not working the merchants at that time. I'm off taking care of the crowd and bringing them in and downloading wallets. The line guys that are moving my plane around, I said, do you want whiskey, beer, or Dash? And every single line guy took Dash, every single one of them. So as soon as the air show's over, usually Blue Angels and Thunderbirds for our European individuals, because Mark Mason told me he had no idea what a Blue Angel is. He pictured Dash girls with pretty pretty bathing suits and wings and stuff. No, the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds are a military demonstration team. They're usually the big act, right? So as soon as that's done, they land, the crowd's done, the gates are open, they're leaving. As soon as they're done, guess who's still there? The merchants. So Jim, the first time we met him, spent the whole day. He's like, hey, let me buy you a beer. I said, Jim, you are a master node and I really appreciate the offer, but I'm still at work. And so he went and got his beer. My team, which now consists of 6 people plus myself, 7 people, go walking in. I'm out front looking like I do. I'm out front. I have a team all dressed in the same way. We look like a professional team. We come in and I'm talking directly to the founder of the company right then and there, right? Because it's a smaller company. The guy's just really honestly trying to make a product, invest his money, take his earnings, reinvest it, and he's getting killed by a 3.5% credit card transaction. I love helping that guy. I absolutely love helping that guy because I was that guy. I would literally be standing 3 feet from somebody, swipe their credit card, and that credit card transaction, because we exchange goods and services right then and there, 4 feet across, cost me $350. I mean, what's that even about? Yep. So when I can help the small business owner, obviously, if you guys look at our communications, which is almost daily on Discord, before it was Slack, almost daily, we're trying to help the small business owner. And as I say, we're trying to help the small business owner keep his profits, just enough profits that he can either, buy another vehicle to try and expand his fleet so that he has a farther reach, or for that matter, just enough of an additional profit that he and his wife can take a vacation. A small business owner is a day-to-day grind. It's everybody thinks, oh, I'm going to own my own business. It's owning your own business, just like Dash Aerosports there is no off days. Right now it's Sunday, right? This is what I do. I'm here in a Dash flight suit doing an interview because Dash Aerosports is my small business. Perfect. Supporting the larger business of Dash and everybody that's involved in Dash. Okay, so that's the small business, and then when we get to the other big guys, and just to throw out some names, no, don't take anything from this. When we approach the Garmins or the Apple or the Tesla or any of those things, those are all just names. I'm not saying that we're participating with any of that. When we walk into that, we're usually starting with the regional sales manager that's attending there. Hopefully, somebody above the regional sales manager level is somebody that we can start engaging. So I make first contact after Keith or Cody come in. And then after that, I make first contact with the regional sales manager, but I quickly try and get to the person, as I've talked about before. I try and get to the person that can say yes, because everybody in a building can say no. There's very few people that can say yes. So let's get politely through the people that, and I don't mean this to sound bad, but time is short and we're trying to get as many adopters as possible, right? So, hey, can we start moving into the area of getting a yes out of this? How do we make you say yes on this? At that time, I put it in their mind. How do I say yes about this? Can you say yes? If you can't, who do we need to talk to? Can I get his number? He's not here, and we just start making leads from that part. Okay, so when you're talking to these people, I guess I just want to do a constructive criticism of Dash. What is the biggest objection that they would have to accepting Dash? What's the biggest roadblock you've seen from the talks that you've had with people? Okay, so the number one thing is that it doesn't really exist. That's it. That's really? The number one thing. There's nothing there. It's cyber funny money, right? And I might have shared this. 6 months into this, we've heard it all, and we've got our canned responses with that. If we're in front of the jet, there's nothing there. The definition basically is the exchange of goods and services for your monetary value, right? I literally point at a L-39 racing jet and say, that thing looks pretty cool, right? Yeah. Dash has paid for that. The fuel that I just got on the ground and fueled that with, which is a goods and service, I paid with Dash. Everything is paid for Dash. Our team being here is paid for in Dash. At that point, they start understanding, wait, there's a tangible asset sitting on the ramp. It's a fighter jet. And that was all paid for by Dash. That's one way to do it. The other way is, as you talk to the individuals that are small business owners, upper management, they wake up, as they put their tie on, they're watching CNBC. Guess what's going on right now? Bitcoin. Thanks for the PR, Bitcoin. That's what you're good for. So, hey, remember when Bitcoin was, a couple $100? Yeah, it's at $9,200 today. You can't tell me anymore that it's not worth anything, or it's just this internet funny money. I can go through list by list by list of gold people that preach about gold that say, yeah, it's just like gold. Here's the thing. Gold can be double spent. We all know that gold contracts, when they were audited, there was less gold by a significant amount than there were contracts. They were double spending their gold. You can't do that with Dash. You know exactly where it is. You might not be able to see on that wallet whose that is, but you can see where everything is. You can't double spend it. So in my opinion, I sold my gold. And what did I do? I bought Dash. Basically, at this point, I know I'm talking about my newest team member. Like I said, I've already offered him a full-time position pending the approval of this proposal. But, we're betting on ourselves. That's it. We know how we work. And we know that everything that we've aligned ourselves with Dash. I'm a verified masternode, at least one masternode. And I've aligned my success with Dash's success. I am betting on Dash Force News. I am betting on you. I'm betting on Amanda B. Johnson to be the voice and face of Dash and articulate what we're trying to say. I'm betting on Ryan Taylor to lead this ship, which I completely do. I'm relying on all the developers to do exactly what I've seen is an obsession and passion to create something, not to sit there and take in a paycheck. That's all secondary to these guys. They are creating something that will change the world. I'm excited to be about that. I'm betting about all those. Guess what I'm not betting? I'm not betting at all on Dash. Dash is a mathematical certainty that it will be a success. I'm not betting on myself because I know exactly how I work. Nobody will outwork me. I've said it before. Do I just say it? No, I prove it every single day. Every single day, you guys have seen how we work. It's what we do. Yes, I fly jet airplanes. Yes, it's fast. Yes, that's what I do. I'm used to putting everything in. I'm used to taking calculated risk and winning when I see the opportunity. I've seen Dash. I've seen what it is. I've seen what it's worth. I've actually looked underneath the hood and talked to every single person. On my proposal, the one criticism is that I'm friends with everyone. I know everybody in there and they're all voting for me because of that. Guess what that's called? Opening up chains or channels of communication.
Yeah, how dare you be friends with us, Scott?
Yeah, exactly. So another thing is, let's get past the whole, I'm a marketer and I need to know my product. Therefore, I need to talk to the developers and find out not only what's there, but try and find out a little bit what's coming. Not only do I need to talk to the core team and find out exactly what's going on in our branding. Ryan Taylor just said the other day, out of all the proposal owners, who's the first one that contacted him and said, I understand we're rebranding. Please let me know as soon as possible because we will instantaneously rebrand. We have wraps. This will go away to whatever they want. Why? Because all the people in this canoe need to row in the same direction. Yes, a decentralized autonomous organization. We all have to decide as a group what's better. But as soon as the group does decide, start rowing, guys. And I'm going to be right there, right next to you, rowing in the same direction. So my team's poised and ready to act. We're the first ones to be there. Just like at the London conference, there was over 500 people there, all involved in Dash. Who was the first one to tip the bathroom attendant in Dash? Me. That's what we do. We're relentless. We are nonstop.
So yeah, that sounds great, Scott. You definitely have the passion for it, and you can just feel it coming through the video. But we have a proposal right now, the Dash Aerosports 2.0, I'm calling it.
Yep.
And it's going to be escrowed through Green Candle.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could possibly go through and give us some kind of indication of what's going to be happening with that proposal if it passes.
Okay. So as far as the proposal goes, We gave ourselves a pay cut from what we were making on the last proposal. We went ahead and volunteered and gave ourselves a pay cut. There's a block or a group of Dash in there that we have no right to. Through the escrow system, we have to earn that right every 30 days to be paid. And we have to meet the milestones that are required by the proposal. So I want to explain that right off the bat. The escrow system, we have the proposal. The proposal is going to be exactly like Dash Aerosports has proven to do. We're gonna get into every single mass event and expose Dash to as many people as possible. We're gonna seek out media attention so that we can get the Dash logo and talk about what our team does and how we're supported by Dash. That's what we're gonna do as far as the proposal goes. We're gonna keep doing as far as we have stuff in the pipeline. And I wanna say this right off the bat. I don't wanna show my cards, but Dash has paid us 6 months to do exactly what we did. We included business development kind of as, hey, this is what we do. We have a few projects that regardless of how this proposal goes, we are going to finish out those projects. We're going to align those projects with Dash. Done. It's already there. So don't even consider that as far as this future proposal. What we're going to do is we're going to seek out new opportunities. And if we get to the end of the 4-month proposal system and the master nodes say, nope, you don't get the access to the rest of that escrow. We want to use it for this conference, or we want to use it for whatever the Dash master nodes want. That's their prerogative. We don't own that Dash. I want to be explicit about that, is that we don't own that Dash. We saw, and our proposal waited and waited. We waited because we're aggressive, but we're also strategic. And we saw that at the point when we launched, 70% of that month's proposal system was going unused. And we talk all the time about people. I mean, a few months ago, I didn't agree with it, but they just started dumping everything. They said, let's get everything approved, use the budget 100%, and let's get it going. And it was almost like, let's pump some money into that. Okay, as a master node, I understand where they're going. I didn't agree with that. I want to provide the framework and the possibility through Green Candle and our team that are trying to show the way, that through an escrow system, and you have two parties that hopefully are trusted. You have two parties that can escrow and work together with the understanding. We fully understand in 4 months, if we do not get another proposal voted on, approved by the master nodes, we have no right to that Dash. Hopefully that Dash has gone from $650 up to $1,200. Now, instead of that money disappearing in 2 days, instead of those funds disappearing in 2 days, it's in a savings account for the master nodes. And it's gonna grow. Let's hope it grows. That's my job, is to make sure it grows, regardless if I get approved for a proposal or not. Here's another thing. If it does grow and I come in for another 4-month proposal at the same price and it's grown, I'm free. Dash Aerosports is free to Dash. It's hard to beat or complain about Dash Aerosports doing everything we're doing, and now we're a free situation. But if we don't get voted in because all of a sudden we just decide that we're going to go hit the beach for the first time of our lives and relax, then guess what? Those funds are with Green Candle. Right off the bat, I'm thinking I try and get a proposal. It doesn't pass. Okay, I'm going to do one more proposal. After that, I'm going to be a Dasher just like you. I'm going to do everything I can help out with. Obviously, I won't have the resources to do what we do as a team, but I'm still going to be, with my investment, trying to do everything I can for Dash. But that entire sector of this proposal that is no longer allocated for Dash Aerosports is now free for the Dash masternodes to dictate what they want. And I'm envisioning a proposal comes into Green Candle, and Green Candle says, okay, this is a great proposal that's coming in. We can fund this 100%. It costs Dash nothing. If you don't want to do that, we can either hold on to the Dash or we can burn the Dash even. You have so many options with our proposal system. I think at this time, Dash Aerosports has shown that we try and find innovative ways and solutions to problems. This is what we do with the companies that we bring Dash into. It's not, hey, would you take Dash? It's how do we make Dash work for you? There's a different storyline there. Don't worry about if you're going to take Dash. Of course you're going to take Dash. Let's figure out how to integrate it into your business. That's how our brains work. Okay, Dash masternodes have said we need to utilize the budget. Okay, Dash Aerosports and Green Candle started out like this with the Gap tour. Now, I met the Green Candle guys in London, Jeff Smith. We got along great. Really cool. They contact us and ask Dash Aerosports to attend the Gap up in Boston. Okay, we go up to Boston. We're funded for that. We utilize our budget to go up there. We come back. I start talking to Jeff Smith, and he says, well, the Gap still needs to reimburse you for your time. And I said, no, Jeff, don't do that with Green Candle's funds. Keep that. It was in our budget. And he says, no, we're if we have any Dash, we're going to get taxed on it. So we need to send it to you. And I'm sitting there going, I don't want the money. He's sitting there going, I don't want the money either. When you have two parties that are both saying to each other, I don't want that money, that's a very interesting conversation. At which time I started going, okay, I trust very few people. And I've actually started thinking about this a lot. Dash is a trustless system, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to trust somebody else. Green Candle, as soon as I try and give them money, in essence, not taking their reimbursement, and they're refusing, the jet up to Boston back was not a cheap subject. And then they're coming back and saying, Scott, you need to take the money. And I'm sitting there going, I don't want the money. We already announced that we did this out of our budget. We ended up saying, okay, fine. You know what we did? We split it. And that split was, well, if you want to split it, that's fine. I'm okay with zero. And that's a direct quote. If you want to split it, that's fine, but I'm okay with a zero reimbursement. And Jeff saying, hey, we got to get this money off of our books. So it was such a weird conversation to have. And it just felt right off the bat. And so Jeff and I started talking, doing a lot of FaceTime. Sorry about my spotty internet coverage, Jeff, but we started FaceTime and talking and working close together. Mastermind had asked for a breakdown of our cost. I offered him, let's go off of a public forum and I'll disclose this to you. I had said that to Mastermind, but I started talking to Jeff, and honestly, it all started with the whole reimbursement of the Boston stuff. And I had to explain to him, okay, this is what the jet costs. This is just the jet and the fuel and, the operation for scheduled maintenance to get 3 hours up to Boston from Florida and 3 hours back. We're not talking hotels or rental cars or anything like that. So he was already exposed to the basics of our cost structure. Okay, here we go. You're my trusted third party now. Here's my cost structure. This is what it cost us. So at that point, I started my last proposal below cost. I started way below cost. And I was very honest about that, but I assumed that as Dash went up, my fortune would go up because I was chasing my passion. And then because of the Dash, and I'll be honest, I try to get rid of as much US dollars as possible. And the Dash is going to go up. The US dollars, here, you want to take it? We've switched from that. My crew chief takes Dash. My aircraft maintenance guy takes Dash. The guy that did all the wraps on the RVs, which is now posted Sacramento Palmer signs, 100% Dash. The t-shirts that we wear, all 100% Dash. Everybody is wanting Dash now because Dash has gone from, when I got involved, $54 to $650 now. There's not a human being on this planet that doesn't say, wait a minute. Okay. And they might say, hasn't it really gone up? I said, well, it's all relative, right? I can tell you right now, when I know masternodes that got in and thought it was crazy at $17 and thought about selling everything at 42, and they're still sitting in that masternode. So it depends where you are on the timeline or the cycle of Dash. To me, Dash is just getting out of the door. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Dash, as you said, yes, we all need to provide for our families. We all need to pay that mortgage or, you know, take care of the kids, food, the basic necessities, right? But when you have the ability to wake up in the middle of the night and benefit a project like Dash, it motivates you. Not because you're making a few bucks here. I'm motivated because I'm doing exactly what I want to do. Is race jets, be the air show pilot, but I'm also getting to develop businesses. But the number one thing here is that I'm participating in a project that applies to every single human being on this planet. We're not a smart contract. We're not a slow peer-to-peer cryptocurrency that is not usable. We are literally 1.3 seconds of real currency transactions that applies to every single person that uses a form of currency on this planet. I am waking up every single day knowing that I have the ability to affect and change for the better more people on this planet than any other project that I will ever be involved in my entire life. And that is what motivates me. Wow. Sorry, that got a little motivated there, but
that's okay.
That's
exactly.
Okay.
So let's get to the meat and potatoes of your proposal. So like the Reno Air Show is going to be a Dash event, right? There's going to be US dollars, Visa, MasterCard, and Dash, right?
So as far as the Reno Air Races, we are in talks with the COO. I can provide, I guess, letters of intention, but right now the conversation is that Reno would like to have, I quote, Reno would like to have Dash more involved. How do we do that? They see the symbology, the fastest motorsport on the planet. Honestly, the fastest sport on the planet and the fastest digital currency on the planet. The fastest digital currency on the planet is now supporting Scott Farnsworth to be the fastest race pilot on the planet, flying in the fastest motorsport on the planet. It just makes sense. It is marketing 100%. So now they want Dash to be involved in Reno. Okay, well, you know that anytime that you're involved with us, you need to accept Dash. What's that take? And right now is the conversation of what's that take? And my idea, so it would be great if something like Festi was available. If it's not available, I can't rely on somebody else outside of my team. So I'm making sure that if that is available, we would like to integrate that. If that's not available, well, then we're going to have to use the ATM system that we've all grown to know. And that is literally have ATMs outside the gate so that people can load up. Now, the criticism to this system was that with the Dash discount of 10%, nobody's going to really use that. I must be really cheap. I have 3 kids, myself and my wife. That's 5. So my average cost to go to this air show, it's a big air show, it's a huge event, is $600 to $700. If I can save 60 bucks, 70 bucks, and go over to an ATM, download a free wallet, load in my cash, and put it into the machine, I'm going to do that to save $60 or $70. That's me. Like I was writing and discussing, you know, this goes deeper than just saving 60 bucks. For me, it's really when somebody wants to do something, but because of financial means, they're not available to them. That drives me nuts. I have seen my entire life people that have all the potential in the world, and just because they don't have the fiat currency to make it happen, they bog down and stall out and don't accomplish their goals. If there's one kid out there that his dad sits there and says, you know what, I couldn't afford it, but I'm going to put this app on my phone and I'm going to use this thing called Dash. I'm going to take my family to an air show this weekend. If that kid comes and talks to me, and all the master knows that we're at Reno will attest to this. Every single kid that comes to my aircraft or I interact with, I treat as if they are going to be the next world champion air race pilot. Because guess what? I'm not the one to tell them that they're not going to be that. So I'm going to make sure that they feel that way. So if I inspire just one kid out of the entire weekend to chase his passion, I've done my job. What did I do right there? I actually improved the life of one child. And by doing so, we also got Dash on the field and the entire ecosystem of the Reno National Air Races. The Reno National Air Races is tyrannical on their payment processing and procedures. If they say that you must process with this or have this ability to utilize this payment processor, There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They will have to do it. They reconcile their cash registers every single night. That's the first thing I said. How much manpower does it take to reconcile actual cash registers every single night? And I'm going to get you the numbers. Okay. What if it was all automatically recorded into a wallet with timestamps and everything was automated 100% and it went into a primary core wallet, and then you paid out the people based on their receipts minus 10%? Let's just get rid of all that. Oh, by the way, I can't disclose this, but their credit card processing fees for 1 week event, as soon as I told them what Dash is gonna, what Dash costs, and there again, Dash isn't charging him. He's paying for the utilization of Dash. It's not like he's paying some Dash entity somewhere, 1% or 0.5% or anything like that. They are going to utilize this. Now, as you can see, I'm talking about Reno and I say he. That's because I attach a personal face to every entity that we talk to. That way we take that whole, it's business, not personal. We throw that out,
All right. So I have a couple of questions about that using Dash. Is it just for the tickets or is it everything at the air show? And the second part is who's covering that 10%?
The 10% is still being discussed. Just to be absolutely clear, there is nothing regarding that. Sometimes you have to take a loss leader to get integration. That's open to conversation at this point. No, it's not just at the tickets. No, it's absolutely critical to me, to the vendors. And yes, there's going to be big names there again. Like I said, all the national, multinational brands. But Joe, the hot dog guy, and Susie, the t-shirt girl, those are actually people. And I see them every year. These are my people. I want to take care of my people. I mean, it's like you. How many people in your life do you want to say, hey, you need to use Dash, trust me, right? You want to do that. Well, these people at this air show, they're my people. Dash is my people. The people at the air show are my people. We need to merge the two, because Susie, the t-shirt lady, everybody's swiping with a credit card. Let's say she does $10,000 worth of sales. She's paying $350. Doesn't seem like a large amount. I think it is to Susie. I really do. I mean, $350 is car insurance. Maybe it's a car payment. Maybe it's, being able to have her daughter go to gymnastics class. I don't know what they use for the money, but I do know that it's my job and my goal, not only to expand Dash's penetration into the market, but also to try and do something to break people of the traditional banking and payment system. It's simple. To me, it's absolutely simple.
Okay, so when you're away from the air show, it sounds great that we're gonna have like a closed ecosystem for Dash. But what kind of things do you do when you're away from the air show to promote Dash?
Okay, just to clarify, I want to be absolutely transparent. It will not be closed to solely Dash. In my vision, there will be cash, credit card, and Dash. It will be exclusivity for Dash in that ecosystem. There will be no other digital currency as long as I have my way, which is, we're talking Dash, nothing else. Cash, credit card, or Dash. Those three payment methods, just to be absolutely transparent. When we're away from that, I mean, so the situation here is, if we have any kind of contact with somebody, and at this point we've talked to so many merchants, and when I say merchants, large names, small names, we usually have some kind of lead contacts coming in. The news has been wonderful. We just announced Best Tugs. We met Best Tugs at an air show. We had a great rapport. Small business. It's a family business out of Utah. They make the highest end tugs. And you sit there and go, so it's an airplane tug, just so we know what we're talking about here. It moves the plane in and out of the hangar. Oh, so it's an airplane tug, whatever. Well, if they accept Dash with a discount, or if they just accept Dash at all, you have people that are high net worth individuals. I'm sorry, but I mean, they're cheap. If they can get any kind of discount by utilizing Dash on a $10,000 tug, if they can save $1,000, they're going to do it, right? So we usually have some contact list that we're integrating with, and that happens to do exactly with what I talked about. Hey, Best Tug, I literally called up Mark from Best Tugs. It's the Patey brothers. They're twins. There's Mark and Mike. And I literally said, hey, Mark, okay, what do I have to do so that you accept Dash? And he's like, what are you talking about, Scott? I mean, what is that? Yada, yada. We had already talked about it, but it had come off of his mind. He's a business owner. He's got other stuff going. So I said, okay, remember the whole like replacing and competing with PayPal, but built on blockchain technology, and your costs basically go down to nothing. And he's like, oh yeah. And so he said, I'm literally sitting on the phone, and I've got, not to use a name, Exodus wallet up on my computer, and I've got my wallet already up. And I said, hey, okay. So at the air show, I had you download the wallet. Yeah. Okay. Open it up. And I'm literally talking to the guy. Okay. Send me your wallet address. I sent him $5 and it was there. Instant. I go, you got $5. He's like, what do I do with this? I go, well, there's some different things that we can do with this. We can do credit card. We can put it into an exchange. Well, what kind of exchange? And then we go into the keep the terms the same. I don't call it right off the bat a Dash coin. I call it a share of Dash, but you don't have to buy one share. You can buy increments of that share. Notice I'm using the word share. These guys, that's what they do. They go on SkyTrade, E-Trade, brokerage accounts, and they buy a share of something. So as long as you change it to a word that they know, and I say, well, you know, there's Bittrex, there's Bitstamp over here, and I start introducing what a brokerage account is and how you can, if you want to get out of Dash, which I honestly don't really recommend, I recommend that you keep it in your system, or at least when you take a payment, convert a percentage of that and keep it into Dash and utilize it within the digital currency community. And you'll find reasons for it. We run our entire team off of digital, off Dash. So, so that turned into the conversation, friendly conversation. And he goes, you know what? It's simple. Yeah, let's do this, Scott. Okay, I'll set it up. Talk to you know, I think his son is Mason, and he asked me for a download for the same wallet. Like I said, I'm not endorsing any one wallet, but he asked me for the same wallet. So now if you call up Best Tugs and you say, hey, I'd like to buy a tug, do you accept Dash? Mason or Mark, if they're on the phone, will say yes.
All right.
There's one business, but that's one business example out of all the ones that we've posted already. But I want you to remember, we keep this nice image of absolute success. All of our success is surrounded by no's. And we've had some pretty interesting conversations on the no's, but you know, that's it. They'll come around. And the news of the gains in the cryptocurrency community or the market, as well as the mass adoption. We're in that phase. We're in the adoption phase of things. So now businesses, if you have a product and you're going to accept a certain kind of payment and exchange goods and services for it, it's going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for coming on the show, Scott. Do you have anything else you might want to tell the Masternode owners before we let you go?
I guess what I want to say is that I've done everything I can in the last 6 months, not to show you or prove you. I've done exactly what I'm going to do. It's who I am. I've decided that I have a mission, and this mission is to promote Dash the way that I can do it. Everybody has their role on the network. This is my role on the network. This is not a hobby. This is my profession. This is not only my profession, this is my belief. I believe that every time that I interact with one of these organizations, communities, or businesses, I'm bettering everybody. And I believe that Dash will have the most benefit compared to any other digital currency on the planet. Therefore, I think that it will be adopted by more people than anybody else on the planet. And therefore, not only do I have skin in the game, I have my entire body in the game. I have my family in the game. I have my assets in the game. I'm here to work for the network. And by working hard for the network every day, I provide for my family, and not only for my family, but for generations to come. Not am I only doing that for myself, but I recognize the responsibility that everybody that has a Masternode or just a few Dash in their wallet, I recognize the responsibility to represent you correctly, not only represent you correctly, but to increase the value of the Dash that's sitting in your wallet at this time. That's all I have to say.
Okay, the Dash Nation Bulldog, ladies and gentlemen. That's Scott Farnsworth, the Dash Racer. Thanks for being on Cash Alternative TV, and I wish you the best of luck in your proposal. I'm going to link to it in the description below. And best of luck. And I really, whenever we talk, I feel this connection between us because we think so much alike on the same things. We're both that passionate type of people. Yeah. So I'm happy to talk to you guys always. So good luck to you.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. The biggest criticism is that I'm friendly with everybody and everybody likes the Dash Aerosports. That's our job. Not only is it to be likable, approachable, but also it's our job to have communication with everybody inside the operation that will actually talk to us. It's our job. So I appreciate that. I promise you that if we ever sit down and have a cold one together, I won't be so intense. I will probably wear the race suit. Actually, you thought that this was for the interview. I actually walk around my house in this suit. That my wife's getting a little, embarrassed about me, but I mean, it looks good, right?
Yeah, so I like it. I like it. You like this? All right. So take care, Scott. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I really look forward to continuing our success for the Dash community. Thanks, Tom.
Bye for now. All right. Stop the broadcast.